Hello and welcome to another video by myself, Chris, from Sorare on the Budget. Today, I'm going to be taking a little look at gallery reviewing. Now, gallery reviews are something we should all do. If you don't know where your gallery is at, how do you know what you're going to achieve? So, in this video, I'm going to kind of cover off a little bit about why I think they're important to do, where I'm at with my gallery at the moment, some ins and outs, some my plans moving forward. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button below. It just helps grow the channel. I appreciate my videos are a little bit sporadic. Baby number two, with Louise, and three overall are going is due to arrive in December. Lucy just turned one, so it's been a little bit of a hectic time. So I'm taking whatever opportunities I get to make the videos. And yeah, so I'm actually on my lunch break at work. I've got my laptop with me. I'm hoping the battery holds, and I'll get this out tonight. So on the right hand side is my current, probably my strongest five, all Scottish, and there's a reason for that. Just because I feel it's what I know. Time being a little bit more limited, I need to be able to be on top of the information around my players. So I'm going to switch over to my gallery right now. Oops, I have got it open here. So why do I think gallery reviews are important? I constantly review. I have pads of paper. I'm not the only one. Russ is the same. Scotland Surveyor. We're exactly the same in terms of that. Looking over things constantly. What's my best 11? Or my best five? What am I going to put them in? What's my cap 240 looking like? What's my 220 looking like? What can I fit in? What can't I fit in? This kind of thing. It's been it's a journey that I've done since day one on the platform. Now, at the moment, I've not actually got a team going in over the next couple of weeks until the start of the Scottish season. Um, I did have my America team, and Brad Guzan got his injury. So I took the opportunity to basically dump everything off, fully reset, and move forward from there. I buy, I sell. You will always notice, and I get this question all the time. I generally have everything listed unless it's something like my Dundee limiteds, which I'll not go on sale. Um, I just have things listed because if somebody wants to buy one of my cards at the prices that I've got or thereabouts, I'll then reinvest that in another player. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with those. So I always have things listed. Doesn't mean necessarily I want red. There's no particular, they're not injured. I just buy to sell. I'm not married to any of these cards other than the Dundee Limiteds, which is just because that's my team. That's my team of support. It's the jersey mint number match, and I will not get rid of those unless somebody wants to pay me something stupid, which nobody in their right mind will, because they're no great value to anybody other than me. So that's where I'm at with those. In terms of keeping an eye on the gallery, you've got to have an idea. What's your end game? What do you want to achieve? Now, you can look at the top guys that are winning prizes every single week, big prizes, and you've got to then consider: do you have the resources to compete with that, or what do you see, your outcome being? So for me, I've always played the threshold. And the reason for that, I like the threshold competitions. Yeah, the Cap 240 has been a little bit more difficult, but I see that as a competition against myself. I'm not playing against the galleries of Pranksy or Quinny or Russ for that matter, or anyone. I'm picking five cards that I need to hit 250 points and hit me my threshold. Beyond that, if I do hit a card, brilliant. That's excellent. But to be hitting that 40 quid each week, I mean, it's $50, isn't it? So really it's 40 quid. If I'm hitting that 40 quid 2 out of 3 weeks, then that's 80 quid over that period. And a lot of the card values, if I hit low tier five, it might only be worth 10, £15. So my primary focus is to hit the threshold. Um, the gallery, the way I've developed it at the moment, I'm looking probably at the Cap 220 for rare, which is why I've got the Liam Kelly card here. I've then looking at the 240, and then I'm in a little bit of a debate with myself. Do I go with the Cap 270? There's going to be a lot of big hitters in that. Do I go for Challenger Europe, which I've got more than enough to go into? I'm not going to compete at the top end unless everything clicks. I do have a couple of mini stacks that I could put together, and if both those teams have got favourable fixtures, I could bang that in there. I've got options there. I have toyed with the idea of selling two or three cards and buying a super rare to start maybe moving up to the All-Star Pro. I don't have the budget for that, to be perfectly honest. As you know, you'll know. I'll flick over to Sorare data to show you a few things on there as well. But I just see it, you've got to know where you want to go to plan that journey. If I want to go on a day trip to the Sorare Sevens, I need to know, first of all, where it is, how do I get there, how much is my ticket for that? How much petrol am I going to need? What's my outlays? What's my cost? You've got to kind of know those things before you can start a journey. And I know I'm aware that every journey starts with one step, I think is the phrase, but you've got to kind of really know where you're going. If you don't, you do tend to end up getting yourself into trouble. That's when you could end up with a gallery of mishmashed cards that, quite frankly, aren't going to get you anywhere. Have I done that in the past? Possibly. Especially in the summer when I actually picked up some of the Americas cards. It turned out that three of them ended up not really being starters, having been starters last season. And yeah, would have probably been in a bit of trouble, to be perfectly honest. So this time round, I've stuck with Scotland primarily. And there are a couple of extra cards in there, but and I've also been watching a lot of the news transfer guys up here, like Scott Burns is one. There's Alan Nixon. There's quite a few different accounts that I've been following to keep an eye on those. Also, if you're looking for Scottish stuff, there's a forum called Pie and Bovril, which is a traditional delicacy at the football up here. But yeah, Pie and Bovril, go to their forum. You can click through. Each team has a page or has a thread. And I've been following what the fans have been saying in there. That's where I heard about Dan Casey coming back to Motherwell. So I picked him up yesterday in a trade for about 0.015. And I mean, I've got him at 4.5. That's way above. It's because I was getting offers for him and I just didn't want him anymore. So I put him up high. I think he's sitting about 2-1 or something on the market. So, but that's what I've been doing, keeping an eye on top of those. Now, I did start to build some limiteds. I bought two Rangers guys and Nicky Devlin, and I was going to make a little team to put into either 220 or 240. I'm going to probably just do that with my Dundee cards just now, unless I'm able to invest some money in there. At the moment, that's not really a possibility. I did look at maybe putting some in this week to do that, but to be honest, my partner's still on maternity leave. She goes back to work in a couple of weeks. And then she's going to be coming off again in 4. So I really don't have the finances to withdraw or to deposit money on just now. I've been quite fortunate with a few things. I did have Trevor Carson as a goalkeeper. I got rid of him because somebody basically, because I've got them listed, somebody made me a really good offer. I was able to take the offer, and then I was able to upgrade that into Liam Kelly, the goalkeeper from Motherwell, Scotland's backup goalkeeper. So it actually cost me 30 quid to upgrade from Trevor Carson to Liam Kelly. 10 years of a difference almost in age. And then Trevor Carson obviously said he's fallen out. So I've got really lucky with some stuff. I haven't got unlucky with the Brad Guzan situation. I should have taken the hint when I sold him for 10% of his value a couple of years ago now, that I should just stay clear of Brad Guzan. Russ tells me all the time I'm an idiot for going near him, but I keep going. It's like a drug I can't get rid of. I've got a couple of speculative ones. I got Stephen Fletcher, his move. He was looking like he was going to Motherwell or St Mirren. It doesn't seem to have materialised yet. St Mirren have teased a forward signing at the start of the week, but the description of him being fast doesn't really fit in with Stephen Fletcher. I'll wait and see. But I've basically sat, and what I've done is I've gone through each position, and I've brought in players. The couple of boys that I've got Drezovic here, a former player that I've had, and I just trust him as a good player. And Josh Cullen, 10%. I have a max level Josh Cullen sat there as well. And, I don't know how he'll do this season compared to last. I know Adam Carter's been on at me about that, but I'm fairly confident he'll be okay. If I go to my rares, limiteds, I've not really got anything. Liam Kelly's going to be my goalkeeper for 220 rare, and that's why he's in there. But what I like to do is I like to go through and I rank them. I've got it on my pad as well. I rank where my goal, each position is almost like a depth chart you'd see for, American football. If you're familiar with that, you get depth charts all the time. This is what I like to do. That way, I just know where my pecking order is. Liam Kelly's my number 1. Ross Laidlaw's number 2. Pretty close to be fair, but Kelly, better team, things like that there as well. Defenders, I just go through them the same. I would probably say, since I brought in Dan Casey, I'm probably looking at Casey, Angus MacDonald there of Aberdeen, Drezovic, Paul McGinn, and then I've got 3 Dundee guys, but I know that Ashcroft and Shaughnessy should probably be 2 starters, and I think they'll do pretty well. Cammy Kerr, I'm probably going to sell if I'm being perfectly honest. It'll just help me finance other things. Midfielders, if I could stop clicking on random things. I'm really happy with midfielders. I've got four good ones, and Sean Byrne is a gritty player that should do the dirty work for Dundee. I'm hopeful that he regains his starting position this season, and if he does, I'm very well set. Josh Cullen, great player. Blair Spittle been really instrumental in with Motherwell. Mark O'Hara, who has a Motherwell kit on there, is actually the captain of St Mirren now, and he was one of the players of the year last season. And Danny Armstrong on the score sheet today takes penalties, takes free kicks, takes corners. He gets decisives, so he will. I'm just very happy in midfield. Looking at my forwards, again, I have one that I am so excited to play. Martin Boyle of Hibs used to play for my team Dundee. Excellent, excellent player. He was obviously out since November time with a knee injury. He's set to be back for the second leg of Hibs's European adventure, which I don't think will be scored on Sorare, if I'm being perfectly honest, because the early rounds are a bit hit and miss. And I think if they're going to play somebody from Andorra or the Faroe Islands, wherever it may be, I just don't see that being scored. So I'm hoping he goes into the first weekend of the season with that big fat DNP and not counting towards my cap. Eli Yuan, partner him. I've got Bojan Majovski, who should be back from injury before the start of the season. Zach Rudden of Dundee has seemed to have come on to a bit of form in pre-season. And Stephen Fletcher, I'm hopeful he gets a move and I could click him in there. I could do with one extra forward. I don't have a balance for it. So I might have to do a wee bit of jiggery pokery there to see what I can do to get that sorted. But this is why I like to keep on top of it, because I know at a glance where I'm at and what I need. And I just like to look at it that way. Now, this gallery that I have suits me great. Would it suit everybody? Absolutely not. Do I judge anybody's gallery because they're scattered all over the place and what have you? No, because that might be their strategy, just to fill up their gallery with a lot of players so they can resell them, or to hope that a second choice goalkeeper gets into the team. I just don't have the budget to carry that. So at the end of the day, what you need to do, as I said multiple times now, you need to know what you want to achieve from Sorare. Do you want to be a trader? Do you want to buy and sell cards? If you do, great, because I've done a lot of that in the last 2 years. Been a bit more difficult in the last few months because obviously we know the platform kind of bottomed out a little, but it is on the rebound. If you're looking for, are you wanting to win SO5 competitions? You're going to need a healthy budget for that. Do you want to be competing for cards? You could do that on a lower budget, but you need to be really honed in on what you've got. Do you have alternatives to put in if somebody's injured? That kind of thing. And you've just got to know what you want to achieve. Are you just playing for fun? Because if you are, I would still say make all your decisions rationally. Don't go willy-nilly just throwing money about, but whatever it may be. This is my Sorare data page at the moment. I don't often pay much attention to the Sorare, the roster valuation, because it does vary significantly. I had Adam Lesden's for the longest time, and his recent sale price was shown as 0.017, when actually he'd been gone for like 0.1 and 0.12. So it doesn't often reflect, because it only counts direct offers, when they've been bought, or the auction prices, obviously for manipulation purposes, but it does really skew it. So please, guys, don't pay too much attention to that being the be all and end all. If you want to have a look at recent sales, no problem. But value your own cards on what you want to get for it. Don't let other people devalue them. So yeah, that's where I'm at with those. Let's have a little look at my transactions at the moment. You'll see where I've been doing a fair bit of trading. It might go a couple of days without. Might just because I've got no balance. I had a couple of sales. There was me getting rid of the Rangers guys after bringing them in. No offense to Rangers. I decided to clear my limiteds again. But I did 3 players going to Sir Hiss for Dan Casey, which I was over the moon about. I had, when I put up a post that I was selling all my limited cards, they all got snapped up. And then look, here's my other trades where I traded at Ross Laidlaw, probably overpaid, but I didn't have the funds to buy him outright. I'd sold Jamal George here, so you could just see where I've been trying to trade him. I bought one goalkeeper, I've sold him, and I've traded up to a better one. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make baby steps to improve the gallery as I go. And if you see something where a player's looking like he's moving, like there was Bruce Anderson, I thought he was moving because he'd agreed, or Livingston had accepted a deal from Georgia for him, so that'd been non-scoring. I was able to try and trade him. I bought him without research. I'd been looking for him. He scored the night before in a pre-season friendly. Somebody put one up cheap. I snapped it up. Turned out it was because they'd accepted an offer. So off he went to Pavel Trader for Kyle Vassell, who then went out in a trade to get Ross Laidlaw. Just building it up, guys. And that's what it comes down to. But you've got to know what you want to achieve. I do like to keep an eye on the traders' accounts. Ruv is one of them. The Autobots like Ruv, Sir Hiss are really good for doing trades. Obviously, you're going to pay a percentage when you're trading with them. Bear that in mind because you will lose out short term. But if you believe in that player, you'll gain it back. I believe in Ross Laidlaw. His value will go up for what I paid for him, in my opinion. That kind of thing. You've just got to be aware of that. But that's what it comes back to. If you know your players, you know if there's any injuries. Like Ross Laidlaw today missed out on the League Cup, but I knew that because he went and got his knee scoped in the summer. It's just a tidy up. He's going to be back before the season starts, and he's the number one. He's their captain. No problem. I don't have any doubts about that whatsoever. So when I don't see somebody in the lineup, I don't panic. And I know other players as well, like Kyle Vassell for Kilmarnock. He's not been in the team at all in pre-season, but that's been down to the fact he was carrying a niggle at the end of the season, and they've given him extra time to recover. Simple. You've just got to know these things, and because I've been able to hone in on the Scottish League, I can look at various news sites for the Scottish League and keep on top of it. Team websites, all that kind of thing. So that's where I'm at with all that. And I would encourage everybody to go and look in depth at their gallery and figure out where do you think you're at? And if you want some help with that, drop me a DM. You've got me on the screen here at Sorare on the budget. You guys know my DMs are open. I might be slow to answer. If I don't follow you, it'll go into message requests and I might not see it for a day or two because I'll forget to check. But I will try to get back to you as quick as I can. It is free. I'm not charging or anything like that. So I will get back to you as and when I can. Just bear that in mind. I have a lot going on in life. It just might be a bit difficult to get back in a timely fashion, but I will try. So thank you for everybody for watching this video. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel. If you've got ideas for upcoming videos, drop me a DM. I'd love to hear them. I want to make content that people actually want to watch. I feel that this is beneficial because although it's not sexy to talk about gallery reviews and how I do mine, it's important. It's the important stuff to me. If you don't do that, I just think you'll find yourself 2-3 months down the line with a gallery full of absolute guff and you've got nothing to do with it. But if you're brand new to Sorare and this has inspired you to take the plunge, SorareOnTheBudget.com will take you to my link where you can sign up and that will get you onto Sorare. And once you've bought 5 cards from the new card auctions, you'll get a free limited card in there as well. So with that, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the continued support on the channel. When I don't do a video for a while and suddenly I do one and they get, great feedback, it does encourage me to go and do more. I just need to find the time to do those. Okay, guys, take care. I will speak to you all again soon.